You're tuned in to Pen Drop Discussions. We're delivering insightful information through genuine conversations. Never miss a message that's for you.
Oh, this is Pen Drop Discussion. It's the Pen Drop Discussion Show. Tyler Parker here to set the tone. It's the Pen Drop Discussion Show. Tyler Parker here to set the tone. This is Pen Drop Discussion. It's the Pen Drop Discussion Show. Tyler Parker here to set the tone. It's the Pen Drop Discussion Show. Tyler Parker here to set the tone. It's the Pen Drop Discussion Show. Tyler Parker here to set the tone. It's the Pen Drop Discussion Show. Tyler Parker here to set the tone.
Hey yo, what's going on? It's Pin Drop Discussions. This is episode 2 on this wonderful, beautiful Trigger Topic Tuesday. So, last episode was about passion, and that was my pin top. It wasn't my pin drop. But anyway, that was a little haha moment. So like I said, yesterday was about passion. Today is going to be about socially charged words. And I say socially charged, and I meant culturally charged. Like, I kind of went over briefly what the goal is for Pin Drop Discussions going forward, as far as like challenging mindsets and cultural norms that have been just kind of set up by society that we just continue to just go with. I think that it's particularly dangerous for the like different communities to just, like go with the flow just because it's like culturally acceptable. And I think it's detrimental. And one of the like main purposes or points of this Trigger Topic Tuesday is the thing that I've noticed the most in the last like 3 to 6 months, being on social media, Instagram and Facebook specifically, more Instagram than Facebook, has been this like there was the thing with the chair and everybody was like doing it for a second. It was just like, okay, wait a minute. This is like, at first it was like comedy because it was like, oh snap, like he hit her with a chair. And then I thought about the Boondocks episode. I was like, yo, they like Aaron McGruder literally like depicted something like this and you could not draw it up any better. And, specifically, like if you want to talk politics with the Trump administration, there was specific moments that was very similar to like House of Cards and very similar to Sinclair Lewis's book, It Can't Happen Here. If you haven't seen or read any of those references, I strongly suggest checking some of those out. Actually, I take that back. You don't have to. It's not necessary. Just go with the Holy Spirit. So we can push forward. So I scratch that from the record. You don't have to go check out anything. Just literally the Holy Spirit will teach you and show you and guide you and lead you and direct you in all the things oh my God, it's 2:00 in the morning. All the things that you need to know that are in regards to your safety, to your well-being. He will show you all the things that you need. So lean on him, rely on him, have a relationship with him. Go that way. So, back to the topic at hand. Trigger Topic Tuesday. We're at 4 minutes. I want to keep this under 10. Really, I want to keep it under 6. So, socially charged words. The socially charged words that I thought about were gaslighting, manipulation, narcissist, imposter phenomenon, and grooming. The socially charged words that I put into this AI chatbot, because I was like, what are some socially charged words? It came up with diversity, body positivity, privilege, cultural appropriation, gender equality, and mental health stigma. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I do not want to dive into mental health stigma, do not want to dive into gender equality, cultural appropriation. That sounds interesting. Privilege sounds interesting. And body positivity sounds interesting just because of like the awkward fitness dynamic. I feel like, I could touch on that and go a couple of different ways. Diversity, I feel like that's more of like a LinkedIn profile. Like you're trying to get a job application, you're trying to think of some words like, what is a moment where you had to show that, that you had to show diversity? I just think it's something like that. But, like I said, I wanted to keep this under 6 minutes. So what are your thoughts on some words that are socially charged, that are just going around, that might not necessarily mean what people are saying they mean? And the one example I thought about was when there were a couple people on Instagram that were talking about this video that Will Smith, I think it was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episode, and Will Smith was talking to Ashley. I believe they said Ashley was like 17 at the time, and Will might have been like 19 or something, and they were having a little house party. This girl was like trying to touch Will, and Will was like, he acted like he was gonna bite her, and was like, you can look, but you can't touch. And then he talked to Ashley briefly and was like, hey, look, stay friends with that one in the purple, because if, she stays, whatever, she's gonna look good in a couple years. And a couple people like commented like, oh, I didn't realize like how cringe that was, how grooming and da-da-da-da. So that's where this thought process was. And it was just like so many people subscribe to this idea of it being grooming and not necessarily like taking in the full like totality and accountability for putting these thoughts out there and just like letting them just like run rampant based on the likes and the retweets or the reposts or the comments that just like justify what's already being said. And oh wow, okay, I'm gonna close it out before it gets to 8 minutes. Like I said, I wanted to keep it under 10, so last 40 seconds. Really where this comes from is this idea that we keep stimulating ourselves with information that kind of justifies our feelings or our emotions about certain topics. And I feel like that comes from everybody having an opinion about something to say, like this is the way that this should be. And really, it's like I feel like people create they create this pool of their supporters that justify the mindset, if that makes any sense. I don't know if that makes sense. If I need to like jump into that in a different way, just like kind of reiterate that, then I think I will. Because I think that's kind of vague. So what I mean is, if I say like, I feel like all men should do blank, or I believe a man should do X, Y, and Z, or I say I believe a woman should do X, Y, and Z, because that's what's going to attract this type of woman that I would want to, like, that I'm talking about or that I'm describing. Do you understand what I'm saying? As far as like, if somebody is giving advice to say that people should be like X, Y, Z, and it's supposed to go for all people. God created so many different people with so many different personalities. Like I was reading in A.W. Tozer that he literally does not waste personality. It's a book on, I believe it's called Jesus. I believe the book is Jesus. It's an audio book, and just says like God does not waste personality. So while there were two sexes created, male and female, I believe that there were different personalities, and just like over time, like there have been so many different, people to come forward with like these really, really, really big personalities that just are like, they have this like gravitational pull towards them. So it's just like it kind of sets these standards in place to go along with personalities. Now, if the personalities dictate the social norms and dictates the flow, now you have just these rules that only apply to these personalities, if that makes any sense. So that's kind of where I want to like stretch the box, stretch the criteria, as far as like what we're thinking about these things and how we're handling ourselves in response to like all these like people that are coming forward and saying like it should be like this, it should be like this, it should be like this, it should be like this. Because like if 1,000 people say how it should be, we're never gonna go anywhere. Because it's gonna be like, oh well, I thought that I should be like this or I should be like this. I don't know if that makes any sense. But like I said, it's Trigger Topic Tuesday. So somebody give me some input, give me some thoughts, feelings, emotions about it. Because I just feel like it's something that has to be talked about. I feel like we are being pitted against each other, male against female, because that is one of the tactics that the enemy wants. I believe the more that we try to drive society and say that men should be like this, the men that don't fit that feel like they're not men, and the women that don't fit that standard feel like they're not women. And it's like, if there is like, yes, there is a kingdom standard as far as how you should be, but your personality is on you. You know what I mean? Like, don't let somebody's ideal dating pool determine how you handle yourself or how you grow. Like, you know, I think that should be between your pastor, your therapist, your social group. Like, you continue to build you while you're living. Don't just let somebody's social media dictate your personality, who you are. You know what I mean? I feel like it's really hard for people out here nowadays, because I think we're being harder on ourselves than we have to be. We're really taking the humanness out of life, out of the experiences that we can have, and low key, we're becoming more and more autonomized. Or autonomized, is that a word? Like I said, it's 2:00 in the morning. The words that I'm looking for are escaping me. English is hard, but I'm one taking this from now on. Just one take. That's it. It is what it is. So, yeah, just don't be a robot out here. Don't be a product of what, like, yes, determine what your feelings and emotions are. And if there are certain things that you feel like are actually you, but don't let, like, oh my goodness, there's so much to actually go into in regards to this topic, but it's supposed to be quick. So, that's it. Like I said, I just want to kind of stimulate some conversation, some feedback. That's it. All right. Peace. Love you guys. Thank you for listening. I saw I had like 3 listeners or 3 plays yesterday. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate the love on Awkward Fitness, and just like each and every watch, each and every listen, just share. All of that stuff, man, it means a lot to me, like, because this is a part of my passion. So I love you guys. Peace.